Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we're going to be talking about the Revolution of Fleur's deck and how to play it, how to make the best use of the skill. The list that I am presenting to you today is a list that my friend Ilgi used to hit King of Games just after the skill came out. Except that he doesn't have 2 copies of Orcust Fleur, so. But regardless. This is a fantastic deck, and the skill is basically just a focus on getting a level 4 on the board, and then also potentially another monster. There are a lot of ways that you can do that in Duel Links, so this is how we want to make sure that we can make as many plays as possible while still having access to removal, to hand traps, and to other things. So, let's take a look at the skill. The skill is Revolution des Fleurs. You can use the skill's first, second, and third effects once per duel if your deck, excluding the extra deck, contains 6 or more spellcaster monsters with exactly 2,900 attack points. At the beginning of your first turn, you can normal summon or set dark spellcaster monsters with 2,900 attack points without attributing. If you activate this skill on the second turn, also play Necro Fleur from outside your deck to your field. That's really cool. So if you're going second, you get an extra benefit from this skill, which makes it even easier for you to win, which is nice because going second can actually be pretty rough these days. I like this idea, and I hope that Konami continues with their ideas of maybe skills that make it easier for you when you are going second. Shuffle 1 card from your hand into the deck. Then play 1 Necro Synchron from your deck to your field. Then you can decrease the level of 1 monster on your field by up to 2. And the reason you might want to do that is because Necro Synchron raises the level of a monster by exactly 2. So if you have a level 3 monster, for example, you could lower its level by 1 to 2, then Necro Synchron could raise it to 4 for you. Could be useful. Send 1 monster from your field to the graveyard, then play 1 Société de Fleur from your deck to the field. This does not trigger Société de Fleur's effect, by the way. Okay, cool. All these effects are pretty good. The third effect basically means that even if you have like 3 Sages and 3 Cosmo Queens, or some other cute monster that you might want to use like Necros, Valkyris, or whatever, you want to play 3 copies of Société at the very least, to make sure that there's always a Société in your deck. Alright, so let's take a look at our deck list. We are playing 2 copies of Orcust Fleur. You can target 1 monster you control and 1 card on the field, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, destroy both of them. Fantastic. This effect does not... Orcust Fleur is not on the field while this effect resolves, which means that it's really good at playing around cards like Successor Soul. If your opponent plays Dragon Spirit of White and then passes, you can potentially target a face-down card on your field. Like, for example, you set DD Crow. You set your Effect Veiler. It's not a valid target for Successor Soul. Then you activate Orcust Fleur's effect in your hand. You destroy both your face-down monster and the Dragon Spirit of White. Now your opponent doesn't have an effect monster to tribute. So unless they're playing Crackdown, you've just opened the board up. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 other monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then add 1 level 1 plant monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. That's useful. We're playing Nightmare monsters, so getting extra discard fodder is pretty useful. And then, of course, when you target cards in the graveyard and shuffle them into the deck, it can be anything, so you can use it to return extra deck monsters so that you have extra uses of them. Pretty nice. 2 copies of Effect Veiler and 2 copies of DD Crow. These are just the ratios that Ilgi was using. I don't have any reason to disregard. 2 copies of Clock Wyvern. Clock Wyvern is a level 4 monster, but it is a level 4 monster that comes with an additional body, which is really good for link summoning. So, if this card is normal or special summon, you can have its attack, and if you do, special summon a Clock token. Then you can activate your skill. You can play Fleur Synchron, use Synchron and Wyvern to go into Splendid Rose, then use the effect of the Fleur Synchron to special summon the Copy Plant, copy the Splendid Rose, go into Beatrice, mill the Harp Horror, special summon the Nightmare, link off with the token to go into the Galatea Galatea then can, or well, you banish the Nightmare, you mill, you guys know how to play Orcust. Regardless. So that's why you want to have 2 monsters out. So that you have both Beatrice and then Galatea. Okay. 1 copy of Harp Horror, Nightmare, and Beatrice are all limit 3, so that's what we got to do. 3 copies of Phantom Skyblaster. This card you might remember from the Orcust days. When it's normal summon, you can summon a token. Great. That's exactly what we want. So you use the token for the Synchro Summon. 2 copies of Necrosynchron. This card's name becomes Fleur Synchron while on the field or in the graveyard. You can target one other face-up monster you control, increase its level by up to 2 until the end of the turn. Or no, by 2. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material for a wind monster, you can special summon a level 1 plant from your deck. So you make Splendid Rose, which is wind. You special summon your copy plant copies Splendid Rose. 3 copies of Société de Fleur. If this monster is normal or special summon, target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field, but it cannot attack your opponent directly and is destroyed during the end phase of this turn. I cannot emphasize how useful the skill giving you the ability to normal summon this card without tributing is. It just gives you a link to. It's so good. It's so good. And you have both Blue Eyes and Rockets seeing a lot of play right now. Guess what? They both use level 8s. Special summon a level 8 from their graveyard. Instant Dingirsu. And then you still have your skill. Société de Fleur being normal summoned is like one of your best plays going second. It's so amazing. Nightmare, you mill it, and then or you banish it, you mill another card, and then you can use that card for Orcust stuff. Oh, anytime that you play Orcust abilities, you get Dark Lock, by the way. So don't do them until you've already made your Splendid Rose, and you're not going to be able to use any Nightmare Phoenixes afterwards. Okay. Farfa. Farfa is in the deck because it is a good target for Beatrice after you have already made your plays. When Farfa is sent to the graveyard, you can target one monster on the field, banish it until the end phase. That's really good for interrupting your opponent's turn, so just use that. You could play Tackle Crusader, but Tackle Crusader doesn't work on Link monsters, so Farfa is probably better. 2 copies of Orcust Symbol Skeleton. This card, if you lower it to level 2, can be used for the combo, and that's pretty decent because it's an Orcust monster, which means that it could potentially get you another body from the graveyard. So the skill lowering this card's level to 2 is actually really useful for us. When you banish it, it lets you bring back Dingirsu, so that's useful. World Wand, it's level 8, which is cute, and then if you banish it, it lets you special summon a banished monster, so that's nice. Orchestrated Babel. You can activate your Orcust cards as quick effects. This is the reason why Orcust is somewhat playable. Dark Hole. 3 copies of Dark Hole. This is mandatory. You guys have no idea. This is so good. I understand. You know, you're probably thinking, I know Dark Hole. Dark Hole will win the game going second. No. I have a replay. You guys have to see this. Dark Hole is so good right now. 1-time passcode, summon a token, great. You summon the token, then you can use your hand traps as like the other link material. And then Orchestrated Return, which is if you already have the Orchestrated Babel, you could set return, and then you potentially have something to do with Galatea. Okay, extra deck. Splendid Rose, just a level 6. Dingirsu protects your board and also attaches materials. Sends a card to the graveyard without targeting. You could have 2 of them because you can make it with Société and a level 8 as well, which is really funny. Beatrice, mill a card during both players' turns. First you mill your Harp Horror, then you mill the Farfa. Unicorn, Phoenix, Galatea, we're good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. Alright, we are going second against TGs. You know what that means. It means we are going to be here for a while. Alright, so my opponent has a 14-card extra deck. That's just something that he's allowed to have for some reason. Limiter removal, pitch, grab the Gear Zombie, and the Booster Raptor. Normal summon Screw Serpent. Special summon the Gear Zombie. Link off. Make Trident Launcher. Synchro into the Star Guardian. Return the Screw Serpent, special summon it. Go into the Power Gladiator. Synchro into the Dragon. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, this board gets completely destroyed by Dark Hole. Well, yes, but you have no idea. Alright. So we flip summon the Recipro Dragonfly, special summon both back, Synchro. Make the Halberd Cannon pass. No back row. Great. Alright, so, yes, we have the Dark Hole, but you forgot. We summoned the Orcust Fleur. So not only do we get to blow up his whole field, we get a copy of Societe Fleur from our deck for free. That's what Orcust Fleur does. If this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon Societe from your deck. So he blows his board up, we get a free level 8 that summons a monster from his graveyard. And we also top deck DD Crow, which is hilarious. And I know that you're going to be like, oh, he drew the out, whatever. No, I'm playing the outs. I have this in the deck for this reason. Yes, I happen to draw it in this game, but that's because I put it in my deck and I'm choosing to run it. So yeah, Crow, completely outed. Dark Hole, destroyed the board. I didn't even have to think about it. Now we move on. Special summon the Societe. Societe, bring back the Power Gladiator. He has a Ghost Warner, that's fine. Now we just normal summon Sage de Fleur. We have Clock Wyvern. We could do the whole Orcust combo, but why bother? Lethal. There you go. His whole turn. One card. One card and a bogus normal summon. That's it. Like, if he didn't have the effect mailer, I literally killed him with Dark Hole. Dark Hole gave me lethal. It didn't break his board. It gave me lethal. That is absurd. So this deck is good enough at going first. It's an Orcust deck. It has Farfa, it has Dingirsu, it has Orchestrated Babel so that you can use the Symbol Skeleton to revive Dingirsu in the middle of your opponent's turn. All those very good effects. But it also has a ridiculous one-card lethal going second, and you just win. Even if you only draw the Sage de Fleur, which you're running 2 copies of, you could be running 3, that's also basically a free Dark Hole pop, because if your opponent only has one monster, then you just Sage de Fleur, same thing happens, you blow your opponent's field up, you get a 2900, you get another 2900, you steal whatever you just blew up, and you still haven't normal summoned. And your normal summon could be another Societe de Fleur, so, I don't know what you guys want from me. This deck is crazy good, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun playing it. This is the pure Orcust version. We'll talk about the zombie version later. My name is Serafi. I was thrilled to have all of you with me.